Hi, everyone. Anne-Marie Chiz here, and welcome to AMC Connects. If you've recently tuned into this podcast, we had Dr. Olivia Andrade on last week, which was just a wonderful episode, learning a little bit about her, but strategic growth. And if you didn't tune in, please do. Or if this is the first time you are tuning into AMC Connects, maybe you've heard through the streets or through the hallways of Rome Health across the network, like this is the podcast to check into.
Podcast of all podcasts.
Podcast of all podcasts might show up with some rapid fire questions. Again, if you're new to the podcast, this is a particular communication channel that launches every Wednesday. So happy Wednesday again, everyone. Being able to connect with Rome Health on some strategic topics to topics that are very deep within the organization and overall healthcare. So we believe it's a good channel to be able to connect with all things that are Rome Health, given how many changes that have happened over the years. On this episode, we are going to be connecting with a guest that I would say, in the midst of so many changes that have happened over the last 5 years, represents a part of the organization that always you don't see at the surface level. So I'm excited to talk a little bit more with our guest today. But also, before we get to the guest, we're going to talk more about we made it. We made it through the first quarter of this year. It's already April. It's hard to believe, right, Chuck?
Oh my gosh,
my goodness.
yes.
We've kept pace with a weekly podcast and trying to make sure that we keep everybody in tune. So we do have the month-end update for everybody, and that has gone out, but we'll spend a little bit of time on it. We're going to talk about yet another change with our construction. I guess it wouldn't be a quarter end or start if we weren't talking about construction here at Rome Health. And then certainly a point of pride. So please stay with me, friends. Welcome back, everyone. Anne-Marie again. And as I shared at the welcome, we do have our month-end report. We're going to spend just a couple minutes on that because it's been something we've been focused on since we turned the page in 2026. And I am just unbelievably proud of the amount of pace and the amount of work going into our, I would say, kind of balanced portfolio of services. We focus very diligently on our 3 pillars here at Rome Health. We have a pillar that focuses on our financial health and well-being. We have a pillar that makes sure that we have quality, safe, and convenient care and engagement, which is certainly the pillar of this particular channel of communication. With that, I'll talk through the high points of my month-end message. February marked an encouraging step forward for Rome Health. Our financial performance exceeded both forecast as well as budget, driven by a quality incentive payment and the continued discipline and focus across the organization. Our February loss was just over $129,000 compared to a projected loss of over $820,000. These results demonstrate what we can accomplish when we actively manage our operations and work together to our common goals. I had shared on a couple episodes that the lift is high in 2026 and over the next couple of years in community-based healthcare, and it's only going to happen if we work on things together every single minute of every day. This past month really represents that. While we are projecting a loss again in March, we are seeing meaningful improvement from the work to optimize staffed capacity and manage our operations more intentionally. Pull till full. Now, this is a particular script that I remembered. It was an ED best practice, actually, many, many years ago. And we've been exercising this across the organization with volume to operations. So optimizing staffed capacity has been a level of momentum that we've been sticking to. One of the most impactful strategies is adopting a pull till full philosophy, like I shared, actively managing schedules and resources to ensure that every available appointment is used to care for patients. Every empty appointment can represent a missed opportunity to provide patient care. Lost revenue needed to support our staffed capacity and underutilized resources we cannot afford in today's environment. Actively managing schedules must become a standard work across the organization. This includes calling patients already on the schedule to move them up into open appointments if patients can do that, reaching out to patients who are due for care but are not scheduled based on that appointment, matching available clinical capacity with patient demand in real time. Surgical services and endoscopy, this has been a strong example of this pull till full methodology. So thank you to those teams working in those specialties. We are already seeing measurable success from the approach in surgical services and endoscopy. We have a backlog of patients who desperately need colonoscopies. At the same time, our surgeons have the clinical competence to perform these procedures and in the available capacity. By matching resources to demand, we are maximizing both patients' access and operational efficiency. As a result, we performed 355 endoscopies and 290 surgeries for a total of 645 procedures in the month of March. That's hot off the press, everyone, compared to a budget of 608. This is a clear example of how thoughtful operational management improves both access to care and financial performance. Consistent with our shrink to grow philosophy, and our guest is going to talk a little bit about an example of that, we expect even greater optimization once the new pre-post space opens up, adjacent to the operating rooms on April 6th. This investment positions us to better utilize existing surgical services while improving the patient experience. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. New appointment cancellation and no-show policy. This is a little bit different for us, but a common practice across the region when it comes to challenges with patients in the community keeping appointments. To further improve access to care and reduce unused capacity, I think I talked about this on a previous episode when there was a member of the community who on social media kind of talked about certainly turnover of providers, doctors and APPs, but also not enough capacity, particularly for primary care. Part of the challenge as we've unpacked this particular area of our organization is we have a number of missed appointments or no-call, no-shows that patients have with our practices. That's something that we really want to improve upon in the variety of different challenges to reach your appointment. Rome Health will implement a new appointment cancellation and no-show policy actually beginning May 1st. We will begin a 3-month education and awareness period, with fees taking effect August 1st. For medical practice office visits and for outpatient services for testing and treatment, patients may be subject to a $25 fee for missed appointments and cancellations made less than 24 hours notice, and a $100 fee for MRI. For sleep studies, endoscopy, surgery, and certain radiological procedures, patients who cancel with less than 7 days' notice or miss these appointments may be charged a $100 fee. Fees may be viewed or waived with extenuating circumstances. Again, I know this is a little bit different for us, and we'll talk a little bit about it during the pilot period as we understand better from our patients what's happening in terms of the volume of missed appointments. But it really is very challenging from a cost perspective, from an engagement perspective, and patient satisfaction with community access to our services. So looking forward to maybe people tuning into the mailbag to tell us what you think, whether in the community or across the organization. I've already heard some pieces of feedback to consider. We want to gather all of that up so we can create the best processes to make sure that ultimately we want to create the best appointments and access for our patients. Well, before we call up on our guest, I do want to launch, this one definitely came from Chuck. Did a great job with the external comms on what's happening at the moment. We made it to the next phase, and we are taking care of patients in our new 18-bay pre-post procedure unit to complete phase 2 of the Surgical Services Modernization. We knew this was coming. I referred to it a few times on AMC Connects, but this is a big one. This hits a number of different elements. I would say all 3 pillars this particular project is impacting and pretty visible. It's absolutely beautiful. But the changes are real. So very thankful for the direct care staff across and our support services, honestly, across the network to try to make sure that this space, which is a very creative way to deliver care and services, is absolutely optimized from day one. And so this is the official announcement. Rome Health will open its new 18-bay preoperative and postoperative procedure unit adjacent to the Kaplan Center for Surgical Services Monday, April 6th, completing phase 2 of the hospital's $45.7 million capital improvement project. As Chuck said, I mean, we've been seeing drones, we've been seeing the construction along the way. It's very exciting to get to this phase that we've opened. Located just beyond a set of double doors from the operating rooms that opened in July. The new unit will significantly enhance this experience for the patients and our surgical team. The redesign eliminates the need for patients, surgeons, and care teams to travel between floors before surgical or endoscopy procedures and improves efficiency, coordination, and comfort. The challenge here is bringing 3 different types of specialties together under one roof, and the team is working through that as we speak. I had just had a surgeon come to me and say they're doing a great job in the midst of a lot of change. So congratulations to the team. Prior to the renovation, patients were prepared for surgery on the 4th floor before being transported to the operating rooms on the 1st floor. Surgeons, anesthesiologists, and care teams routinely traveled between floors multiple times a day to evaluate patients before procedures. With the new layout, the pre- and post-surgical space is now directly adjacent to the rooms, streamlining care and reducing delays. The new unit includes 18 patient bays, as we've shared, designed to both pre-op prepare patients and post-operative recovery. The combined staffing model allows greater flexibility and manage patient flow, reduce wait times, and improve operational efficiency while supporting a more seamless patient experience. The 18-bay unit complements the Kaplan Center for Surgical Services, which opened in July with 4 state-of-the-art operating rooms and 2 procedure rooms designed to accommodate advanced surgical techniques, including minimally invasive and robotic-assisted procedures. The investment is already expanding access to care. With the additional surgical capacity, Rome Health has recruited additional surgeons, and surgical and endoscopy volumes continue to grow for us, demonstrating increased access and the hospital's ability to meet rising community demand with keeping care local. So exciting, everyone. Thank you for taking the time with the preparation, the planning. We're well into the initial go-live period and already hearing positive feedback. If you have not high-fived a surgical, invasive, or clinical team partner across the network, please do so, that are working to make sure this innovative new operating model is going well. So proud of everybody. With that, I think it's the right time, Chuck, to introduce our guest.
It is that time.
Yes, it is that time. Who represents, as I share, a part of operations and certainly the workforce that we don't always see or announce on the surface, but absolutely critically important to everything that we do. With me today, and Chuck, is Eileen Luley. Eileen, thank you for joining AMC Connect.
Thank you for having me.
I say that because, certainly your core content expertise is in respiratory therapy.
That's correct.
And that's certainly the profession that I think of that is so quietly and confidently taking care of our patients and adapting to new spaces organically. And I don't hear a lot from the team. I have to go seek input because they're just masterful at taking care of patients. And so I'll just open it up for a few comments from you on the profession of respiratory.
Yeah, it's a great profession. And we do have a great team. They're so dedicated, so strong. And it's just a wonderful time to be in respiratory care.
Yeah. I think respiratory maybe maybe I'll start with a funny comment. I had the opportunity always, obviously I'm a nurse, so throughout my whole experience to be working closely with respiratory therapists, but I remember having the privilege of serving directly a respiratory care team where we were talking about, different ways to advance care. And I was really highlighting the respiratory team at the time. And the director of respiratory care said, oh yeah, we just help people breathe. That's all we do, right? I mean, that's such a simple way to put it, but just amazing ways to make sure that care is enhanced with lung therapy, right?
And what's interesting about our department is we're protocol driven. And that has taken a lot of work and just a lot of input from the physicians, and our medical director, Dr. Sadat, have a lot of faith in the team. And that really does say a lot for the team. We have a lot of years experience on that team.
If you could share with us why protocol-driven care takes a lot of trust, but is so important for making sure that patients have optimal outcomes.
It's so important for the patient to be on the right therapy for whatever their ailment is. And the respiratory therapist is at the bedside assessing. It's not, we'll just give them incentive spirometry or we'll just give them a bronchodilator. They're assessing, and they actually have a score that they keep, which puts them into different categories. I think we have 8 different protocols. That's everything awesome. From oxygen therapy to bronchodilator therapy, airway management, clearance secretions. We have a lot of protocols, and that has taken years to develop.
Congratulations on that. Because when we're able to practice in a protocol-driven environment, we typically have the opportunity to apply evidence-based practice.
Exactly.
Yeah. And timely, right?
Timely, yeah.
And our respiratory therapists really work directly with physicians. They don't go through other layers, right?
Right, absolutely. They're making the calls to the physicians, side by side with the physicians. Absolutely.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about you and maybe how and why you chose the specialty of respiratory care as you entered the healthcare workforce and what you do for home health.
Yeah. Actually, I started in healthcare when I was 14, candy striper. My whole family was in healthcare, so it was just like a natural thing for me to go into. And we all had jobs as ward clerks at St. Luke's Hospital.
Oh, okay.
And then when it came time, when I graduated when I was a junior, actually, my mother said to my sister, take her over to the college and sign her up for something. My sister took me over and she said, I'm a nurse. You're not going to be a nurse. You're going to go into this program. Respiratory therapy was kind of new back then.
Yes.
And she said, you go into this program. It looks like it'll be good for you. So I did. And I had to take a cut in pay from a ward clerk to be a respiratory therapist.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. $3 an hour, 25-cent shift differential for the night shift.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Eileen.
Yeah. And worked for 20 years at St. Luke's and in clinical. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I was a respiratory nerd. Still am. Just love the profession.
That's great. What does that mean? To be a respiratory nerd.
Yes. I know a lot of trivia. I was an instructor for MVCC for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked every weekend, 14-hour shifts. It afforded me the ability to be home with the kids during the week. And when they went to school, I went into home care and I taught respiratory therapy for 10 years. So I have a lot of different experiences in respiratory therapy. So yeah, I'm a respiratory therapy nerd.
I worry a little bit about respiratory care because there's not a lot of places to be educated if we think about it across central New York, right? Can you share it? There's so many people that are interested in healthcare. Thank goodness for your sister.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
yes.
Look at how many lives you've impacted and saved because she pointed you in
I'm
this
very
direction.
fortunate. My first 20 years was all clinical. And in fact, Joe Perry's mom, Cheryl Perry, she was my mentor.
Oh.
She's who I reported to at St. Luke's, and she talked me into going into the management direction.
Wow.
Yeah. She was the service line administrator for cardiopulmonary there.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, she was excellent. She was so good. And she directed me to go into management, and that's how I decided to go into management and get out of the clinical aspect. Yeah.
I can't wait to touch on that. But just as a reminder, because I think we do have people within the workforce, hopefully that tune into AMC Connects, but it's one channel to be able to say for people who are interested in clinical care but may not be interested in nursing, like your sister guiding you, where or how can people get connected with respiratory care as a profession?
Yeah, MVCC has a program.
Great.
Yeah, 2-year program, and I believe Upstate has a 4-year program. Yep, so you can always go for your first 2 years at MV and then go over to Upstate for the other 2 if you want your bachelor's degree.
Excellent. Nice and local.
Yeah.
I hear great things about MVCC.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And is that where you graduated from?
That's where I graduated from.
Great.
Yeah.
And had a great experience, obviously.
Great experience. Michael Brown now is the clinical coordinator for that program, and he does a wonderful job. I taught him as well.
Oh, excellent. I love This is good. All the greats coming through Eileen, everyone. All
That's
the
right.
greats. This is great. I do hear that from the team too. They have so much faith and confidence in you, Eileen. It's such a gift that you're with Rome Health.
They're great. They are. They're really good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell us how you got to Rome Health, and you were starting to talk about the decision to get into.
Yes. Well, the
management.
director position opened. I was the operations manager. I went from, staff therapist to the clinical educator and then the operations manager at St. Luke's. And the director position came open at Rome.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I went to Cheryl and I said, I really would like to step up and take this position. And, she encouraged me to do so. And I do remember interviewing for the position with the team. And I told them, I said, I've been at St. Luke's for 20 years, and I guess I'll give you guys my next 20 years. Biting my tongue the whole time, thinking that'll never happen. I'll never be 65,
And
But
yet,
I fulfilled my commitment.
say, remind us how long you've been with Rome Health.
20 years, June 7th. It'll be 20 years, June 7th.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow, what a gift you are.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever have any regrets kind of moving
No.
from,
No, I've been very blessed, and I was ready. I was ready to take that step because I saw so many things that needed to be changed, and I needed to be in a position to be able to bring that change forward.
Excellent. If you feel comfortable, what was one of the most significant changes that you saw that you felt like you needed to prioritize first as a leader?
I think the protocols, we worked really hard on that, and, not doing unnecessary therapy. A lot of times, somebody would come in with maybe a broken foot and they'd be on nebulizers. It's like, why? Why is that, And so the different practice patterns of the physicians, we really wanted to hone in on exactly what the patient needed and what time they needed it.
Oh, Eileen, awesome, right? I mean, that's what transformational care is all about, is certainly knowing the expertise that you're trying to deliver, but never losing sight on the individualized care that's needed.
And working to the maximum capacity of your license. That's so important.
That's excellent. Now, we were starting to touch on this a little bit, but the team, everybody who seems to work with you speaks so highly of you. We'll talk a little bit about your scope too. Maybe share with us a little bit more about your scope, because you serve respiratory care, the respiratory therapy department, and you have other departments that you oversee as well.
Yes, I do.
But universally, people just have the highest respect for you. So as you share with us your scope of leadership, can you share a little bit with us your style of leading to just have this universal trust and respect that people have for you?
Well, I oversee the Sleep Disorder Center, cardiac testing, and then St. Joe's Cardiology, and now Chestnut Commons, pulmonary and neurology. Yeah. So I have all those departments.
And I'm sure it's not, but you look like you have just an ease in being able to navigate all those areas.
Well, like
of
I said,
service.
the people make it easy. They really did. And my style, the only style that I try to keep adhered to, and that I pray every day that I do, is just respect. Just respect everyone. Treat people with respect, and they'll treat you with respect.
So
that's really what I try to go on.
Yeah.
I've had leaders that don't understand that everyone has issues, right? They come to work, whether it's childcare or their parents or siblings, whatever. Everyone has issues, and to be able to understand that and help them work through that and do what you can to make work fun and not be the burden. Right? Everybody has so many burdens. You don't want work to be a burden.
I really like that you went a little bit deeper with that, Eileen, because I don't know that I ever would have thought this, but recently, and maybe you find this too, as we're serving the workforce and trying to lead through, that we even have to understand what it looks like when we talk about respect, when we talk about kindness or compassion. And I really appreciate that you went a little deeper with, you work hard to demonstrate a level of respect for everyone. And what respect looks like is appreciating that people have pretty complex lives and taking that into account. Because if we do that, then they'll likely give back in a way that meets or exceeds expectations.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's great.
Having worked every weekend and having worked every holiday, you know, which back then there wasn't the opportunity to say, you know, I have kids and I can't do this. You made your schedule fit the hospital. You were just so thankful you had a job.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's kind of flipped. You know, so if you can't work Tuesdays, can somebody else? You know, if you can only work till 3, can somebody work till 4? You know, whatever the case may be, just working it out and making it work for both the hospital
Sure.
and the employees.
Yeah. Tapping into a level of creativity.
Right.
Well, I had recently, when I was connecting with you, well, not too recent, I guess, when I was rounding and getting to know the respiratory department and some of those priorities, it really seemed like that particular department is kind of governed. There's like this professional governance over each other. Tell me and us a little bit more about how you led the way of creating a department that kind of governs itself, that there really is this kind of shared value.
Any decision we make it together. I don't make decisions on my own. I always go to the employees and get their input. And I never, ever expect them to do something that I wouldn't do. You know, so I'm not going to do 30 treatments and take care of 10 vents by myself. So I wouldn't expect them to do that either. You know, so that's what we do. We make decisions together. Our decisions are made together.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is there, in addition to, you know, not asking others to do something you wouldn't do yourself, is there other principles that maybe the departments know that, or they're just shared? So it sounds like shared workload, respect. Is there any other principles that?
Well, I have my own. No cell phones and no swearing ever.
I like that.
So they tell all the new people that. They'll say, hey, keep your cell phone in your locker and make sure that you don't swear around Eileen. She doesn't tolerate any swearing. Everybody knows that. So those are 2 of my rules. But
why do you have those rules? Very basic, Eileen, but I can connect with them. But why is it that you have those rules?
Well, I just think that I have a high standard and they need to, I mean, those are simple. Those are simple enough that they need to adhere to.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to have something. Otherwise, you know, they could be on their, no cell phones on the floors, you know.
It's distracting.
It is distracting. Now they have a respiratory cell phone.
Perfect.
So people might say, I see them on the phone all the time. It's the respiratory, you know, that's how they communicate with the floors and everyone.
And stay in tune.
Yeah.
Well, there's still so much to get to. I feel like I could talk to you forever. You have been a champion for our smoking cessation.
Yes.
We know that Oneida County, similar to other upstate New York counties, still has a high degree of smoking in the population, and you've been a champion for smoking cessation. Can you share with us a little bit about the resources? Because we do, I mean, healthcare sites of care have had a no smoking on premises for a long, long time, but we do know that that's been a struggle. It's been something that we've had to reiterate, particularly over the last, you know, year or so, is reminding the community. But it seems like there's still kind of a high amount of smokers in our population. Can you share with us, well, one, the obvious maybe to some, but maybe not to others, why it's such a risk and what's out there for people in terms of resources?
Well, the New York State has a quit line, and they give out free NRT as well. You know, so if you call the quit line, you might be eligible for some free NRT.
Great.
If you ever came to the hospital for whatever reason, you are a current smoker, respiratory therapist will come and counsel you on that.
Great.
Yeah, and they'll refer you to the quit line if that's what you'd like to do, because we have those resources available to us. And we have a lot of written material as well. I personally am a counselor. I'm a certified counselor, so I have offered to the employees, you know, anyone who's interested in quitting, please come and talk to me. We can go over a program together.
Great.
So, yeah, that's what's available. And, of course, the risks of smoking. I mean, they're just so evident and well known now, you know, that even vaping, you know, with the young teenagers, to start with that only leads to nicotine, you know. So it's just best not to start. I mean, that's, and then to quit, it's very hard, but it is doable. I was a smoker myself. And when I started in respiratory therapy, my boss said to me, Eileen, it doesn't look good. You got a pack of cigarettes hanging out of your pocket. And back then we could smoke right at the nurse's station.
Yeah.
You left your cigarette in to go do your therapy and you came back out and finished your cigarette. He said, it doesn't look good for a respiratory therapist to smoke. If you quit for 3 months, I will give you a week of PTO and you don't have to use your own time.
Wow.
I know.
That's incentive. Wow.
That's crazy. Of course I'm going to do that. And he had people watching me throughout the hospital. I was 22 years old.
Sure.
And I did it. Yeah. And I went back to him in 3 months and I said, Jim, I did it. I quit smoking. I'm ready for that week off. Yeah. And he goes, I can't do that.
He didn't let you cash in?
No. He goes, I can't do that. Save up your own time. But someday you're going to thank me for making you quit. And I was like, okay.
Okay. Wow. I would have given you the week. Come
no,
on.
He couldn't.
He couldn't. His hands were tied maybe.
Yeah.
Did you ever go back and thank him?
Oh, of course I did. Yeah,
Nice.
of course.
So
I never smoked again.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah,
So
and it
you
was
just-
cold turkey.
Wow.
You know, back then they didn't have the nicotine replacement therapy that they have now.
Yep.
You know, so it was cold turkey. But, you know, I'd only smoked a couple of years. But,
Yes.
yeah. It is
Every-
possible, though. It is
Yes.
possible. And there's so many things out there now to help you that I'd be happy to talk to anyone.
Oh, thank you, Eileen. Everybody, if you have that struggle or if you are debating whether or not to quit smoking or any other smoking devices, Eileen's putting herself out there. Yeah, and has that licensure and accreditation to make sure that she can counsel and has done that for a number of years. Shifting a little bit again, Eileen. So Shrink to Grow. You have been recently a part of Shrinking to Grow for us with another part of your scope of services. So tell us a little bit more about you've recently led the organization through.
Yeah, it was moving the pulmonary and neurology clinics from Avery Lane to Chestnut Commons. Yeah.
And this was only just a couple weeks ago now.
Yes. Yeah, it's probably been about a month.
Yeah.
February 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, February 16th we moved. And, you know, I was told in November that this was the direction that the hospital wanted to go in. And we made a plan. And I think it went very well. Wow. We had a whole team. You know, every expertise was at the table. Everyone knew what their job was. And it was really, there weren't any hiccups.
That's amazing.
No barriers. We just did it. And it went very well. The physicians, the providers, very happy with the new space.
Congratulations.
Staff is happy with the new space. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it went well.
What are our patients saying about it?
They love it.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the parking is right there.
Yeah.
You know, they know Chestnut Commons. They've been there before, whether it's lab work or physical therapy. We're the first door as you walk in, so it's easy in, easy out.
Excellent.
Yeah, it went really well. Couldn't be happier.
Well, thank you again.
Great team.
Yeah, well, because not every move goes that way. We've done a lot, right? And there's been a
Yeah.
lot of lifts with some and some disappointment with others. But this just seemed so smooth.
Yeah, like I said, every expertise was at the table.
Yeah, see, that's
and they
what it
did
is,
such a good job.
Great.
I mean, IT, Alan, you know, Cassie. Yeah. Everybody was there. Ryan. It just went really well.
Well, it took a great center leader that was going to, the pieces I've
Thank
learned
you.
from you and seen from you is you definitely understand maybe what needs to happen. And if you don't, you question, right? That's a big
Yeah,
part of it.
finance was a big part.
Yeah.
That is my weak area, and Nate and Tabby are wonderful.
Oh, good.
You know, they're really strong, and they just take that ball and they know what they're doing. So it makes it
Right.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, because this
you're welcome.
Shrink to Grow, you know, kind of overarching umbrella has guided us for, you know, over 5 years now. And
Yeah.
you accomplishing that move and to have it be, you know, all three pillars, you know, firing in a positive direction was just a lift. And so thank you for that.
No, you're welcome.
Of all the years, like even anchor back, Eileen, what is your most, I think, how would I put it, point of pride that you've had over being at Rome Health? You've
There's
seen
so many.
much.
I know there's so many. It's hard to pick one, but I have to say that starting the pulmonary rehab program was so. It was just so satisfying, and the community was just in such need for that.
Yes.
You know, that when we started that, they were so grateful.
Yeah.
And the patients are just wonderful. You know, the staff was great, and we accomplished a lot in the 10 years. It was sad to see that have to close because of COVID, understandably.
Sure.
You know, we couldn't let that patient population come to the hospital anymore. So, but it was a wonderful experience to start that program. And the cardiology, too, St. Joe's Cardiology, bringing them in as well. You know, that that was a great endeavor and taught me a lot about opening up a practice. And Dr. Silverman was wonderful to work with. He guided me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know?
He's really neat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's wonderful. Yeah.
Well, so grateful for you and for him, because I that's another one I hear on a regular basis, how thankful the community is to be able to have that service, and that we were able to keep so many patients with us longer. It's great.
Yeah. And then the sleep lab.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, and it still is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You know, when it opened up. But that was a lot of fun, you know, building and opening something right from the ground up. You know, not many people have the opportunity to do that. So it was fun. I even picked the colors and everything. It was great, you know.
So neat.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like we need like a statue of Eileen Luley in that section of the organization. Right?
There is that one part in the driveway right there, right in that area by the sleep lab. I mean, we could redo that.
Maybe we could make that happen.
Putting that out there.
Yes.
No.
Well, Eileen, tell us what's next for you.
Retirement.
What?
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm like, my heart like skipped a little bit. It skipped a little bit, Eileen, when you say that
Yes,
out loud.
it's
But
time.
I've heard that.
Yeah, 45 years is long enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, do you have a vision?
Oh,
of
yes.
Excellent.
Yes, I have 4 grandchildren. So, you know, one of my daughters lives in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I want to go out there and watch my grandson play baseball.
Yes.
And yeah, I want to spend more time with the grandchildren. I do want to stay on per diem and still work in sleep. I still score sleep studies every day. Well, not every day, but, you know, a couple a week. You know, so I'd like to keep my hands in that. And our accreditation is due this year, too. So I'd like to help with that.
Excellent.
But travel with my husband. And
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
And thank you
Oh.
for all of these
Thank
decades
you
of service.
for giving me all the opportunities that I've had over the years. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful career. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah. And you never would have thought when you set out, right?
No.
You were there.
No.
That's so
Never.
much.
Yeah.
You'd have the opportunity to. Well, congratulations again.
Thank
and
you.
And it's like, it's another, people say this, it's just another season, you know, of life to be able to still have you per diem and work through some things and stay close, but to enjoy your beautiful family.
Yes. Yes, I can't wait.
Lived. Yeah, great. Well, we do like to get to know people a little bit deeper.
Okay.
And so I'm going to put you on the spot, Eileen. You referenced it a little bit, but what do you think of the AMC Connects podcast?
I love it.
Yeah. Oh,
I absolutely love it. I mean, I listen to podcasts, and I think this is great.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think Chuck and I are doing well?
Oh, the way you guys interact is just so fun. It is. It's fun. It's a great way to get the information out there. You know, it's something different. And everybody listens to podcasts now. So this is just a wonderful way to get the information out.
Great. That's encouraging, isn't it, Chuck? We
Yeah,
can keep
definitely.
Absolutely.
rolling. Chuck's done some changes and some great things over the last few months. So, well, thank you for that, Eileen. Going deeper a little bit, have you ever won a contest? It kind of feels like you're somebody who's won a lot of contests.
No.
Well,
A contest?
yeah.
No, I can't think of any that I've won.
I don't know. It feels like
Yeah.
you.
Come on.
She's been working too much,
No.
Chuck.
I know,
maybe.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't remember winning any contests.
That's okay. You and I are together on that. I don't know if I won anything. Now, I think I maybe threaded this a little bit. Do you have like a hidden talent?
Oh,
like
my goodness.
Yes, there it is. All right.
I have a hidden
see the
talent. I can't sing. My husband always teases me because I went to a Catholic school. I can't even throw a ball. Not athletically inclined, although my children all are. They got it all from him.
That's cool.
No, I
You
don't have
said like you a little bit of trivia at one point.
respiratory. I'm a respiratory nerd.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And I do raise koi. I have a pond in my backyard, and I have several generations of koi in my backyard.
Eileen,
Yes. They have names. They're big. They have names.
That's a hidden talent. Can I ask you like a serious question about that?
Yeah.
How do they not get taken or eaten by
they
like,
do.
crazy birds?
They
that-
do.
Oh my gosh.
They do.
We had a koi. We had like a little. We had like a 4
Yeah.
koi fish, and they got so big, and it was absolutely beautiful. And some
It's hard.
enormous bird we had never seen swooped down.
I
and
know.
It was tragic.
I know.
Oh, it was
it's terrible.
awful.
We were all, my whole family, we were having a Sunday dinner out on the deck, and we saw something swoop down, and he took what we called them cues, because he was bright orange, so it was for Syracuse.
Yes.
And he took him and he started flying away. And my son-in-law was so agile. He ran as fast as he could. He was clapping his hands. My son was right behind him, and the bird dropped it right into the ground, and it landed face up, stuck it in the ground, and he went and picked it up and put it back in the pond, and it swam away. So we saved that one. But yeah, it's very difficult to keep them from not getting eaten. We've even had an otter in the pond trying to eat them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you for keeping them alive. And I love your sons, and I didn't even meet them.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yes.
I love that. Lifesavers they are.
When we had the dogs would keep the birds away,
Sure.
but my dogs have all passed on. So, I don't have any dogs to chase them away. But yes, we have infants and babies and toddlers and teenagers.
I think it's time for another wiener dog in your life. Just coming from another wiener dog
you
owner,
sound
I
like
get
my
it.
son.
So
So you've had wiener dogs.
Wiener dogs, yeah.
Okay. Don't they have an official name that's not that? But
Dachshund.
Yeah.
Dachshund. Okay, so you had dachshunds.
Yes.
But not anymore.
No, they've all passed on.
Well, I'm impressed with the koi pond.
Yeah.
The koi fish. Okay. Maybe last one. Movie. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is anything with Kevin Costner in it.
Oh, I like that. What is your favorite, Kevin Costner? He's a good actor. Kevin Costner show, movie.
Oh, well, Bodyguard, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great one. I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
My husband often sends me flowers from Kevin Costner. I'm still waiting for him. Now that he's divorced, I'm waiting for him. I thought he'd come to the hospital and, ask me out, but no.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
If he comes when I'm gone.
We'll have you on speed dial.
Yeah.
Speed dial, yeah. I did. He's just taken a long time to get to you. Maybe
Yes.
send some.
That's what I
Quote
say.
on lily pad or
Yeah.
something.
Did you see any Yellowstone episodes?
Oh, yes.
Did you watch it all? Okay.
Everyone.
Okay. I haven't seen that yet, but
Yeah.
I don't love them as much as you, I guess.
Yes.
So,
Well, Eileen, I trust you so much. What piece of advice could you give us, Rome Health employees, certainly me as a CEO? What could we do to have another
There's
decade
just
of
so
greatness?
much opportunity out there right now,
Yes.
I mean, with healthcare the way it is, with reimbursement and cost, that's challenging. But the opportunities that are out there right now are so great. With our new EMR and cardiac rehab or pulmonary rehab, there's so many programs that we can bring forth and just educate people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
continue
with you.
to grow.
Yeah, the growth of our ambulatory services is
Absolutely.
that's on the forefront for sure. As a CEO, what would you advise me in terms of the focus and opportunities for improvement or anything from your experience in the lens?
Just to keep your pulse on the employees. They're the ones that are doing the work. They know how to change things.
Yeah.
They know what needs to be changed. And they'll tell you.
Yes.
When you ask, they will tell you. And that's where the answer lies, is with the employees.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Always, right?
Yeah.
That's a great reminder, and to ask the right questions and
Right.
to maybe even ask it all, right?
Yeah.
That humility, that's great. Well, thank you, Eileen.
Thank you
and
for having me.
congratulations again.
Thank you.
Just a wonderful career and spending nearly half of it at Rome Health. The community's so blessed.
Thank you.
And to the next season. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely.
Well, turning back to just some closing remarks. Again, this was from Chuck, but if you didn't see it, April is a big month of celebrating some of the great areas of our workforce and taking a page. And I so appreciate Eileen making sure that as a CEO, there's a great emphasis on employees and on the workforce. I'll anchor back to a statement I had with a conversation with Dr. Estivo. He was on a podcast, if you haven't watched, a a couple episodes ago, has a tremendous heart for all of us as employees, but making sure that we're a best place to practice. So keeping in tune with that. Healthcare Observances 2026 for the month of April. Again, a big month. We've got Occupational Therapy Month. We've got Patient Access Week, Health Information Management Week, Medical Lab Professionals Week, Patient Experience Week, as well as Secretaries Week. A lot of amazing parts of our workforce are represented in April. So making sure that certainly on AMC Connects here, thank you all for the great work that you bring in your areas of content expertise and specialty areas. And I hope you have time to be able to carve out, even if it's for a bit, to celebrate what you bring to Rome Health and to our community. Thank you for creating the best care out there here.